Creepy TikTok last year.
They create some type of frequency and vibration, which...
Yeah. There's a famous Sumerian cylinder scroll. I'm going to send you a copy of this image. You see an Anunnaki god, you call him a god with a lowercase g. He's sitting on this box. This box has a symbol for magnetism on it, okay? And this ancient Sumerian tablet. And then, so he's sitting here with this box. There's this tripod thing up in the air, and it's got this disc. Underneath the disc is a gigantic stone table, and there's human beings. You can tell they're human because their height compared to this guy, they're tiny. And a human is picking it up with one hand. That disc is a cymatic frequency. You can perfectly match. I found the exact frequency, and I have a video on that frequency, which creates that exact same cymatic pattern. And so that cymatic pattern and magnetism in some way reduce the weight of that gigantic stone table, allowing an average normal human being to pick it up with one hand. I'm gonna send you this image. Pretty interesting stuff. So when you now say, well, how do they do all this? Cymatic frequencies and magnetism, electromagnetism and cymatic frequencies, in some way together, they combine those two things to reduce the weight. They didn't make them completely weightless, but they significantly reduced the weight of a lot of the stones. The second thing is, Thoth gives away something else in the Emerald Tablets. He utilizes cymatic frequencies and photons to manifest solid matter. Now that sounds crazy in ancient tablets, but guess what happened 2 years ago? In a laboratory, in the world we live in right now, scientists got together and they combined cymatic frequencies and photons, and for the first time ever created solid matter. That's in physics.org.
The Anunnaki, aka the fallen angels and the Nephilims, they probably built those pyramids. We also have ancient temples here, and a Gudung Padang pyramid. And folklore says the jinn built it because they're so magnificent.
Listen to what I'm telling y'all. When the opposition see this with wings, they go, let me tell you something, let me tell you something, let me tell you something. Y'all ain't understanding how crazy this is. They built a plane around a gun that's a Volkswagen Beetle. Not only that, but the cockpit made out of titanium. So you can shoot any round you want at this and you're not finna get nowhere but piss them off. Why? Because the first thing you about to hear is like a newborn child taking a no, you ain't no. It's about to like a wife that don't believe where you was at 4 a.m. Oh no, this Glock switch with wings, I done said it before. Any gun that goes that is a Glock switch. We familiar with the sound in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm not hearing what I'm saying. America really are some gangsters because they come back and spin the block. If the first one don't hit you, the second one will, and they don't miss. See, they got y'all thinking in Call of Duty, if these depleted uranium rounds from this hit you, you just gonna be sliding around on your ass till somebody revive you. That's some bullshit. There won't be nothing. You won't have an ass. Oh, the gun on this so powerful, so destructive, that they have to shoot it in short bursts because the will fall out the sky. We ain't even talking about the missiles yet. Either them are Hellfire missiles. I don't know what the missiles they is, but if the gun don't work, by some they spin the block and hit you with some missiles. They finna take you to Pound Town like Sexy Red.
Yo, he needs to calm down a little bit. And I heard A10 Warthog gun has so much kickback from firing, it can stall the plane in midair.
Just looking into the Love Island roster for this season, all of these women are under 26 years old. What is going on across the pond? Is this all Botox and filler? Why do the Brits age so fast? All of these women are under 30. Is there something in the water? In the food? Darts is big over there, and this is the latest phenom in the darts world. He's English. Guess how old he is? 17. He's 17 years old. That's Luke Littler. He just turned 17. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm aging like an angel, but what is going on? I was looking at the ages of the people in this show. Is it Botox filler? Is it because over there they just start drinking when they're 13? And smoking cigs outside a Liverpool club, outside a Manchester club? What? I need answers.
There's 40? I was thinking early 40s. I'm 44. It's probably lack of sun and stress. What do you think? Housing and food is so expensive, and we do not know these people traumas and what they are going through. A lot, probably.
Much is my cost of living here in Spain as a language assistant and a Filipino digital nomad. Just a disclaimer, this is as of May 2024, and I live in a medium-sized town here in Spain. So number one is my monthly rent. I pay around 275 euros for my rent every month. That is around 17,000 Philippine pesos, 295 US dollars. This is for a fully furnished apartment. I also have my own veranda and also a bathroom. And this apartment is very well located. I am very near the grocery stores. I'm also near the center. And also it is a walking distance to the school where I work. Number two is electricity. I only pay around 30 euros per month, which is equal to 1,850 Philippine pesos or $32 per month. So for the Wi-Fi and the water, it's totally free, so I don't pay anything for my Wi-Fi. And since I work remotely, I need to have a strong internet connection or Wi-Fi, and I've never had any problems about my internet here. Number four is my phone bill. So I got a prepaid SIM here in Spain. I pay around 10 euros per month. That is equivalent to 630 Philippine pesos, or around also $10 per month. So for my groceries, I spend around 20 euros per week, or 1,250 Philippine pesos, or $21 per week. I save a lot on my groceries because I like to cook, but I also have a budget for eating outside. So for number five, or restaurants or eating outside, I spend around 80 euros per month. That is 5,000 Philippine pesos, or $86 per month. Lastly, for transportation, it will actually depend on what part of Spain you choose to live. In my case, I don't spend anything on transportation because I just walk around and everything is walkable here. So in total, my monthly expenses would be around 475 euros per month, 30,000 pesos, or $515 per month. Follow for more.
Wow, this is very informative for someone wanting to live and work in Spain. His apartment is nice.
Hey guys, I am in the Amazon of the United States. Check out this little swamp
Ooh,
puppy
look
right
at
next
that.
to me. Guys, this is absolutely wild. This is the Wakaiva State River. Guys, the Wakaiva State River. This is one of the scariest rivers you can row down in a kayak. You want to know why? Because there's thousands of those little guys. Those little swamp puppies, as they call them here in Florida. Yes, thousands and thousands of them, guys. If you want to go on a wild kayak ride, come to the Wakaiva State River. Guys, there's bears in these forests. It's crazy. Bears everywhere. There is water moccasins. I mean, you got manatees. This is a 16-mile river, guys, that connects to the St. John's. And listen, guys, it does not disappoint. There's thousands of these guys that are waiting to come at you. Anyways, guys, so if you're ever in the Central Florida area, and you want to see thousands of gators, you want to see tons of wildlife. I've already seen snakes. I've seen an owl, I've seen tons of alligators. Come to Wekiva River, guys. It is the Amazon of the United States of America. Rent a kayak for like 35 bucks. Go down the river, and guys, you will see tons and tons of swamp puppies. It's amazing. Come check it out.
No, thank you. Why would anybody put their life at risk for a kayak?
Your feet are on the dashboard and the airbag deploys. It shoots out at over 200 miles per hour. This intense speed propels your feet and legs upwards and back towards your face and chest. Your legs slam into your upper body and can break your bones. And your knees can hit your head so hard that it can cause permanent damage to your brain. The force of this can also contort your pelvis and twist your spine.
My room
That sounds like it would hurt.
is a complete wreck. My workers told me, they said, Michael, don't go in your room. They were crying on the phone, my employees. They said, if you saw your room, you would cry. I have stairs that go up to my bed. And they said, you can't even get up the stairs. The room is totally trashed. And they had 80 policemen in this room, 80 policemen in one bedroom. That's really overdoing it. And they took knives and cut open my mattresses with knives. Just cut everything open.
Did they take anything from Neverland?
I'm not sure what they took. They never gave me a list.
But you're saying that they destroyed your property?
Yes, they did. And then what they did was they made everybody that work at the property, they locked everybody out of the house. They had the whole house to themselves to do whatever they wanted. And they totally took advantage. They went into areas they weren't supposed to go into, like my office. They didn't have search warrants for those places. And they totally took advantage. And the room is a total wreck, they told me. And I don't think I want to see it. I'm not ready to see it yet.
So you haven't been back there?
I've been back there, but not in my bedroom. I won't live there ever again. I'll visit Neverland. It's a house now. It's not a home anymore. I'll only visit there. What time is it? Because I'm hurting. I don't feel good.
All right.
Greed, money. Somewhere greed got in there and somebody, I can't quite say, but it has to do with money. It's Michael Jackson. Look what we have here. We get money out of this. That's exactly what happened.
What I don't understand is why today, and I know you say it's money, but who? I mean, why would he turn around and say, Michael Jackson sexually molested me?
Because parents have power over children. They feel they have to do what their parents say. But money is the root of all evil, as you know. The love of money is the root of all evil. And this is a sweet child, and to see him turn like this isn't him. This is not him.
So you don't think this comes from him, this comes from his parents?
No, this is not him. No, I know his heart.
That it's acceptable to share your bed with children?
Of course. Of course, why not? If you're going to be a pedophile, if you're going to be Jack the Ripper, if you're going to be a murderer, it's not a good idea. That I'm not. That's how we were raised. And I didn't sleep in the bed with the child. Even if I did, it's okay. I slept on the floor. I gave the bed to the child.
But given all that you've been through,
Yeah.
given the allegations, given the innuendo, why would you put yourself in a position where something like this could happen again?
Well, I'm always more cautious, but I would never stop helping and loving people the way Jesus said to. He said, continue to love, always love. Bring on the children, imitate the children. Not childish, but childlike. People think sex. They're thinking sex. My mind doesn't run that way. When I see children, I see the face of God.
Ooh.
That's why I love them so much. That's what I see. Well, what's wrong with sharing your bed? I didn't say I slept in the bed. Even if I did sleep in the bed, it's okay. I am not going to do anything sexual to a child. It's not where my heart is. I would slit my wrist first. I would never do anything like that. That's not Michael Jackson, I'm sorry. That's someone else.
Yet, they didn't find anything to use against him. That poor man battled his whole life.
Oh
So
my
so
God,
when you
you
look at
guys,
it,
this is mental.
when you-
The iPhone update. You've
Yeah,
put it-
I've already got it. I've been using the eye tracking feature where instead of like using your fingers like a commoner to use your phone, you just use your eyeballs.
Hang on, what?
What's going on? You just
So
look at
this
the
is
phone.
like having a chip in your head. Here we go, I'm looking.
What are you doing?
Oh yeah, but hang on, it's calibrated to my eyes.
Oh, that, and then, sorry, okay, so it's highlighting the app but not opening it. Then how do you open it? What did you do to do that?
He blinked. He blinked.
That's insane. Did anyone ever think that was coming so soon?
What people seem to be ignoring is that this update confirms your camera is always on.
You knew it was only a matter of time before we were going to talk about this. If you're new to this series, we've been talking about the prison planet theory, where essentially the planet's a prison. We're all stuck here. Our negative energy is being harvested. Reincarnation is a trick to keep us coming back. This is part like 26, 27. I don't know. We were diving into all the world's major religions, and now we're going to Mesopotamia and the legends of the Anunnaki. If you're not familiar with the Anunnaki, it is essentially an alien race that came to Earth, manipulated something, whether it was a chimp, something that was similar to us, manipulated their DNA slightly so that they could create the slave race. We're going to be diving really deep into the topic, but what's interesting is it took millions of years for hominins to figure out spearheads. And then through another 2 million years of evolution, guess what we built? More spearheads. That was like 2 million years worth of evolution. Then around 30,000 years ago, you have one of the first human civilizations, right? Aggregations of people living together. It's Göbekli Tepe. They weren't specifically like super advanced, but it was a bunch of people living together. Again, millions of years from this to this, 30,000 years from this, modern civilization where we have electric cars, we're exploring space, and we're all depressed sitting in offices. What's interesting is that 30,000 years aligns with the myth about the Anunnaki and their creation of human beings. What absolutely just blows my mind is these stories, these legends came from ancient Mesopotamia, right? Which also many of the world's religions stemmed from. The Anunnaki are considered to be the source, one of the first creation myths, or not myths. And if you're like Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, it'll be really interesting for you to see how much of the creation story that we believe in comes from this. But this is going to take me like 6 or 7 videos to go all the way through. This is going to be a deep dive. He goes on to talk about how everyone has been obsessed with gold since, the foundations of civilization, but why? You can't use gold for really anything except for modern technology. Now we know the benefits of gold, but you couldn't use it as a weapon. You couldn't build things with it. For people who are just trying to survive in a dark, cold, dangerous world, gold provided no value. Part of the Anunnaki story is the fact that they needed gold to save their atmosphere on their planet. It's fascinating. It's wild. It's going to be a fun time, so make sure you're following, and we're going to be dropping this series.
They don't create anything. They're fallen angels or gods, small g, like it says in the book of Enoch. They interfere with human reprocreation. That's why God flooded the world to erase them.
A new tool described as flying handcuffs will soon be used by San Francisco police.
Put your hands behind your back. You're going to get wrapped. No, I'm going to the hospital. Wrap.
You saw right there, ABC 7 News first demonstrated the Bola wrap last fall. It shoots out a 7.5-foot cord that wraps around a person with 2 anchors that replicates fishing hooks. It's a non-lethal alternative to tasers, guns, or batons. The Chronicle reports that specially trained San Francisco police officers will be equipped with the lasso-like restraint tool in the coming months. The makers of the Bolo wrap say it's used by more than 1,000 law enforcement agencies nationwide.
It's kind of cool, but can you imagine if someone was running away and they cracked their head on the pavement on impact from falling? Yikes.
Charlie, that's not Earth, right?
Dude, that's completely flat. That's 100% flat,
I know, that's
dude.
what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That can't be real, right? That's not.
We're looking at it, dude. The Earth is flat.
Charlie, the Earth can't actually be flat, right?
There's the glass dome, dude. Oh my God, dude.
Oh my. This can't be real.
I need to sit down.
This can't.
Fam, we need to take this to the grave. We cannot tell anybody. This changes literally this changes everything.
Nah, I know. We can never tell. We can never tell.
I might
anyone.
actually puke. Get back a little. I might puke. Stay back.
The Earth is flat, Charlie.
I know.
There's cosmic horror done right. It's interesting how they're talking, and it feels like a real life conversation.
Are they supposed to call me?
Ooh. Wow. People are people, universal basic needs, and right to quality and dignity.
The reason I killed him was because he was a child molester.
But you did in fact kill him.
Oh, sure.
And you intended to.
Oh, sure, yes. Well, if it's all right, I'd like to tell you where it started.
Go ahead.
All right, well, he was my bunkie, and I had found out that he was in prison for child molestation. Really bad case. So that night he was trying to justify why he did it. I just told him to be quiet, and he would have to leave in the morning to find a new cell. But he continued to talk about it and try to justify it. So he was a little bit bigger than me, so I got down and I hit him in his face a few times. And when he fell, I wrapped a cord around his neck and I took his life. People think I'm some kind of hero, but I'm actually not. I just, did what I thought was best. It's not my position to judge anybody. And I want to make it quite clear that I didn't judge him. I know God is the only judge we have. I've just set the appointment up. So I don't feel bad for what I did, I feel bad for maybe the families, his family or something. But as far as remorse towards him, no.
His lawyer looking at him like a proud dad. You cannot justify hurting little children. They're pure.
Is the most expensive neighborhood in America. Located in Florida, Gables Estates is a prestigious gated community with an average home price of $20 million, nearly double that of Beverly Hills. The neighborhood includes world-class amenities like golf courses, tennis courts, and a private yacht club with membership application fees starting at $200,000. Gables Estates also has a dedicated security team with immediate emergency response, 24-hour armed guards at entrances, and Coral Gables police patrols. Officers monitor all entries and exits, while patrols safeguard streets and waterways. The community also features night vision cameras, beam detectors, and emergency helicopter transportation. It is also the only community with 1-acre lots, allowing private dockage for mega yachts and sport boats. All properties have direct bay access with no bridges, which enables boating enthusiasts to slip into the azure waters on any given day. Would you like to live here?
Nobody asked me, but did you know that Volkswagen owns Audi, Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Porsche, and Ducati? Honda owns the Acura. Toyota owns Lexus and Xi'an. Hyundai owns Kia and Genesis. BMW owns the Mini and Rolls-Royce, and Tata owns Jaguar and Land Rover. So the next time someone asks you, how do you know all these things? Just tell them, I follow 234 Drive.
I know all of them except the Tata and Kia.
Breaking news coming out today that major attacks against 3 U.S. cities, Los Angeles, New York, and Philadelphia, have been stopped as 8 individuals that crossed from the southern border into the U.S. that were planning these coordinated bombing attacks, they have been arrested.
Officials tell CBS News the individuals were from Tajikistan and were arrested in New York, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles. They allegedly crossed the U.S.-Mexico border last year and this year.
Now, I'm going to share with you the video footage and the articles so that way you can see it for yourself. And in addition to that, stick around because I've shared with you the list of cities on the watch list coming from the FBI where they know there are sleeper cell groups there that are planning coordinated attacks. They're keeping an eye on them, and hopefully we're going to be seeing more arrests taking place so that way we can thwart any potential attacks that we've heard will be coming. And these warnings coming out from the FBI for the last several months, and the most recent one you're going to see just 8 days ago. So let's go ahead and dive right in and share with you the latest. But before we do, if you appreciate the updates keeping you up to speed, don't forget, take a quick second, hit the like button for me. Helps spread this information out. Even though it's not what we want to hear, it's good for us to stay informed and share this information. Also, to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and also additional resources linked in the description below so that way you can stay connected and ready. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the latest information so you can see it for yourself.
We've seen the threat from foreign terrorists rise to a whole nother level. This is by no means a time to let up or dial back. Now, on top of that, increasingly concerning is the potential for a coordinated attack here in the homeland.
So that was 8 days ago, and that was Chris Wray, head of the FBI, warning us that now it's happened. 8 migrants with ties to ISIS arrested in a sting operation. All 8 of them crossed the border illegally. That's where we start. Good morning, everybody. On this midweek Wednesday, I'm Bill Hemmer. Hello to you.
Good morning. It's good to be here with you. I'm Dana Perino, and this is America's Newsroom. The migrants came here from Tajikistan, and a source tells Fox they were, quote, fully vetted at the southern border, and yet nothing was flagged.
So ICE then later caught up with them in Philadelphia, New York, and Los Angeles, and that begs the question, who else is coming across that border?
We have Team Fox coverage. Paul Morrow is here with us, and we want to go first to Alexis McAdams. She is on the streets of New York with more. Hi, Alexis.
Dana, Bill, good morning. Right now, we know that those 8 Tajik nationals are in ICE custody this morning after they were arrested. A source telling me that a majority were arrested right here in New York City. Exactly where in the city, we're still trying to figure that out. This morning, a Democratic councilman here says this is another example of a broken southern border that he says the president needs to fix quickly because he says he doesn't know what's going to happen next in New York City. Listen.
Yeah, it's frightening, and we're headed for another 9/11. I predicted that. I think we should have a secure border. We should know who's coming into our country. We don't. And millions of migrants and illegal aliens have gotten through. So it's a situation that we're just, really rolling the dice here.
So in just the last few days, the group of Tajik nationals, who investigators tell us have ties to ISIS, were taken into custody. The 8 men all...
Those are blue states, right? Let me hear your take on this.
We are cooked in the worst way. This is Chinese kindergarten. We got grown people in America that doesn't have this much teamwork. What are our kids doing? On iPads, complaining, getting fat? Look at these kids. This is more... I know grown-ass people that can't do this. And these kids are 5. I'm so impressed, and this shit is just letting me know that America is currently being left in the dust. Because I know our next generation can't do none of this. They barely be in school. Be playing Fortnite. Look at this. Look what China doing. Look at these basketball skills and the teamwork that it takes to do this. Simultaneously on beat, not skipping a beat. And these are like 30 kids in a row. I don't think I can get 30 adults in America to be able to do this. Ooh, America, we better start cooking. We better get in the lab and start figuring out what we're doing because I'll tell you right now, our kids ain't doing this. Behind the back, the motor skills are going insane. China is just absolutely cooking up with their next generation. You can tell they care. Look at this teamwork. That's like 50, I don't even know, 100 people doing one jump rope and one person jumping. They having fun. We can't do this. I can't get over recess, bro. I was playing dodgeball and tag and picking kids off. I don't even know if they do that no more. These kids hula hooping, jump roping, getting ready for Ninja Warrior. Like, what's going on? That's not even using this. They do lunch? They cooking for each other? They chefs? Like, okay, it's 12 o'clock. Let's cook a meal for the whole school. Having fun. They got the goggles, the right wear on. I don't know how sanitary that part is, but regardless, China is leaving us in the dust. We need to lock in, America, because shit is looking dark.
Too much freedom with no guidance will lead to laziness, and laziness leads to failure.
Hi, Boris.
Hello, Boris.
The crazy thing about China is that robots are actually like other human beings. They just live and exist with us as one. Look, this one we've called Boris, he's just walking around the hotel or just driving around the hotel, and he just gets treated like every other human being in here. So robots are all integrated with the community. Boris is here, the girls are enjoying walking with him. It's been a really cool thing that we've seen in China, and Boris brings takeaways to the room and different things like that. It's all Boris's deliveries here, look. He's got a busy day at work. So Boris is just picking up his latest package to deliver. Here he is, this is Boris in the middle of his shift today. Here he goes to deliver his package. Bye, Boris. Bye. We'll see you soon.
That's so cool. And Boris doesn't need any tip.
Raise this kid. Mom, Dad, if you see this, major props to you.
Quit your job right now for $100,000 cash.
People here today are leaving like suffering.
All right, I'm with an El Pollo worker that didn't quit. Just gave him the 15 grand from Dana White. He didn't want to leave his coworker suffering, man. He's a real one, so Dana White took care of him.
Are you joking?
Just the way you reacted to it is just something that we're grateful to have you as part of our team. The Pollo Loco. Oh, no. Give you a check for $20,000.
Wow. Wow. And kid, respect. You could have been tempted to take the money and you didn't. Your character is so solid.
Yep. All right, what would you do, folks? Let us hear it in the comment. No judging.
I swear, after being in New York and taking the subway here, I promise I will never ever complain about Singapore's MRT system ever again. You can hold me to this. Like, I have this video for proof, and if I ever come on here and find fault with our country's MRT system, you can drag me. I give you permission to drag me, because I find myself taking a couple of deep breaths before going into the subway here. Like, I have to mentally prep myself to be brave enough to walk into the subway system, because I have been harassed, I have been catcalled. Some guy would just sit at the empty seat next to me and start like bothering me, and it's just so uncomfortable and unsafe for women here. Like, we as Singaporeans, we don't understand how good we have it back home until you come to a city like New York. Safety is a luxury here, and I'm not even exaggerating. Okay, and New Yorkers, you can chime in, but this is just...
The subway isn't the problem, it's the people. What is he doing? San Francisco used to be in my bucket list. Not anymore. You know what's going on here? Why the government let this happen to their own people? You see, what happens if you have too much freedom?
This being hidden from us. Look at this ancient Egyptian tablet. Why are there UFOs on it?
The explanation for this is unbelievable. The Tully Papyrus, as it's called, isn't just an ancient document. It's evidence of UFO sightings in ancient Egypt. In the 1930s, Alberto Tully discovered a papyrus in Cairo describing fiery discs in the sky during Thutmose III's reign over 3,500 years ago. But here's what's crazy. Some researchers believe these fiery discs were the Anunnaki, an advanced extraterrestrial civilization from ancient Sumerian texts. The Anunnaki supposedly influenced early human civilizations with their advanced technology. The Tully Papyrus suggests these disks became numerous and bright, indicating the Anunnaki used advanced spacecraft. However, this story was buried to protect conventional historical narratives. So next time you hear about the Tully Papyrus, remember, there's a hidden history we're not being told. The Anunnaki might have been here, guiding human civilization from the very beginning.
I agree, except substitute the Anunnaki with the fallen angels and the Nephilims.
Welcome to Xi'an Metro. Now I know before I was talking about Xi'an steeped in history, but now we are being transported forward in time into the future. Just take a look at this metro station. I mean, my own country in the UK, they don't have this. In Western countries, they don't have this. In Germany, in France, in the US, it's uncomparable. Look at these, just look at this. It's straight out of a science fiction movie. And that's not just this station. It's many stations on this metro system that look just like they're from the future, straight out of a science fiction movie.
Xi'an Metro currently has 9 lines in operation with 212 stations. And of course there are more lines under construction and planned to start operation this year and in 2035. China don't mess about. Of course there's more lines opening. China gets things done. Not like the West. Talk, nothing gets done.
When tax money used for development.
Guys, oh my god, watch this.
The fallen ones and their children is all around us. Have you not noticed? These are demons, demonic entities. The only way to see them is to operate at a high frequency. And the only way to do that is through the word of the Most High. I truly want you to listen and pay attention. I put some videos together to reveal this information to you, so share the video. Pay attention now. I'm about to roll the clip. Pay attention. The eyes is a source to the soul. They shapeshifters. They've been around us since the beginning of time. I know a lot of you are probably not going to believe this, even if I show footage like this. Gonna use up some excuse. That's what people do. But you have to know that human beings are not the only one here. If you don't want to learn anything, you want to deny it all, you must know the very basics. That human life is not the only life here on earth. They show and tell you who they are.
School is a lie. You want the truth? The world is controlled by shadowy elites and shape-shifting lizard people.
smile I've ever seen out of Mark Zuckerberg.
So the song Shake It Off was about how I shed my skin every 1,000 years. And the song Bad Blood was about how I drink blood out of my Grammys.
A toast to blood. Save some blood for Paul Rudd.
This ain't just no cartoon. Where do you think our children is going?
Society more tolerant of our kind, from the guy who geckos to shameful. We even got tables in Smash. We did it, everyone. The world temperature is rising. The time is coming, brethren. We shall fulfill the prophecy. Overthrow humanity.
Go follow me on IG at Sean D'Amato. As you know, they're trying to ban TikTok. Shalom, family. I'll see you in the next video.
Most of them hold high-level positions in governments and corporations. They're preparing the stage of the coming of Antichrist and intergalactic war, or the Armageddon.
Not aliens. They've always been here. There are forces that are not human, that do exist in a spiritual realm of some kind, that we cannot see, and that, when you think about it, sort of make you think we live in an ant farm. That is real, okay?
The thing that struck me most about the interview is that Carlson is saying, I kind of got what's going on, and I don't want to know any more.
And I've actually stopped gathering string on, as we say in reporting, stopped gathering string in this, gathering information, because I'm satisfied that I know enough, and I don't really want to know that much more.
Excuse me, you're a bloody journalist. You're supposed to be now an alternative journalist. Of course you want to know. What's the first thing, if you were a proper journalist and you came across this information, what's the first thing you'd do? You'd look at who's been saying this, in my case since the 1990s, and you'd say, hey, you come on my show with its massive audience, tell us what you found. What's your view of what's going on? That's what you do. But it doesn't happen, as it doesn't happen with Rogan either. There has to be a reason for that. One of the things that I've been pointing out over the decades is how, if you look at religions and if you look at ancient cultures and tribal legends and accounts, there is an absolute common theme between them.
Yep.
And that is that a non-human force operating from the hidden is manipulating human society. It's a very compelling, coordinated agreement between what is otherwise a disparate group of different groups and beliefs. Carlson, in this interview, is acknowledging that. It would be nice, actually, if any of them that speak about this in a mild way acknowledge the guy who's been saying this since 1996 and taken untold shit and abuse and ridicule for saying it.
Anybody else think Tucker looks like he's seen more than he can handle when he said he doesn't want to know much more? There's not a look of sadness, it's the look of curiosity and killer intent. The eyes don't lie, she's studying.
All right, so we all got to witness something weird today. There was no moon, and it blocked the sun somehow, and it wasn't a new moon. Something blocked the sun that wasn't the moon. And watch this, because this is interesting.
This eclipse coming up, it's different than the other eclipses that we've had. The last one like this was in 1776 when they were signing the Declaration of Independence. There's a lot of negative news surrounding this eclipse.
I'm sorry, come again, what? This is the first I'm hearing about that. The last time that this eclipse happened was in 1776. Now I'm actually starting to get a little bit worried because clearly that wasn't the moon blocking the sun. So what is going on right now? Because honestly, if you know anything about our history, it's all BS. And when you hear the number 1776, and if you know, you know, if you know, you know. But that actually concerns me. I have never heard that. Has anyone else heard that? Has anybody else heard that? And yeah, this is for your entertainment. Okay, this is for your entertainment. But has anybody else heard about that? Seriously,
No.
I'm asking. Please.
They've been keeping this from you. This is the underground city that was found beneath Los Angeles by a man named Warren Shufelt. It was discovered using a device he invented to detect underground tunnels and caverns. Shufelt mapped out a network of passageways stretching for miles beneath the city. And here is where it gets crazy. His maps indicated a central chamber filled with gold and advanced artifacts. Shufelt said that upon analysis of the artifacts and the scriptures found within the passageways, they all pointed to a lost continent named Lemuria. Despite his groundbreaking findings, city officials abruptly shut down his excavation. They officially claimed that the tunnels were old subway lines. But this is where they messed up. The Los Angeles subway system didn't begin operation until 1990, over 70 years after Schufelt's discovery. So what subway lines were they referring to? Some speculate that they were referring to an ancient civilization that had access to a subway-like system. Some have even gone further to say that the city officials had knowledge from the future. They knew that Los Angeles would eventually have a running subway system in the years to come, therefore it would be the perfect cover-up, perfectly concealing its true origins.
The entire world is literally not what we've been told.
Posted a video on YouTube a couple months ago of an ex-Satanist who was a Satanist for years, got saved, met Jesus, and what this girl talked about blew my mind. And then I started reading in the comments section, a lot of people were talking about or described what she was talking about as astral projection gang stalking, where this girl knew how to astral project, to go out of her body, take her spirit out of her body, travel in the spirit, and they would be assigned to go after certain Christians in the spirit and spiritually attack them, curse them, try to cause them harm in the spirit while they sleep, while they're at work, while they're at school, wherever. Now that's a kind of warfare. That's a kind of attack. That's a kind of demonic force that most Christians is not even on their radar. How do you defend against that if you don't even think that that's real?
That's why we put on the full armor of God and bless ourselves and loved ones with the blood of Christ.
7 weirdest laws in the world. Number 7. In Hong Kong, it's legal to murder cheaters. According to ancient Chinese law, a wife can kill her cheating husband as long as she only uses her bare hands. The husband, however, can kill his cheating lover in any way that he wants. Double standard or based? Comment below. Number 6. There's only one Messi allowed in Argentina. In 2014, a law passed in the footballer's hometown of Rosario, which made it illegal to name your child Messi. You could say that situation sounds untidy. Number 5. In China, it's illegal to reincarnate without government permission. The law specifies that reincarnations won't be recognized without state approval and must be born within China's borders. Number 4. It's illegal to be drunk in a pub in the UK. Look, we're all guilty of having one too many at the local, but it's actually illegal to be drunk in a pub at all. According to Section 12 of the Licensing Act of 1872, you could face a £200 fine if you're found to be intoxicated in a pub or any licensed venue. PC gone mad. Number 3. In Montana, a couple can get married despite neither of them attending. This is known as a double proxy wedding, where a friend can stand in for the bride or the groom as long as they're a Montana resident or an active member of the military. While there are a few US states that allow single proxy wedding, Montana is the only one that allows no one getting married to actually show up. Number 2. Ponces get locked up in England and Wales. That's right, you're not actually allowed to ask your friends for money. According to the Vacancy Act of 1824, it's deemed illegal begging to ask a friend or anyone for money when you're a couple of quid short. Number 1's insane, disgusting, possibly sexist, but before I get to it, please, if you like these sorts of videos, please just drop me a follow. It really helps me out. Thank you. Number 1, in Missouri, it's legal to let women burn. According to a local law in St. Louis, Missouri, it's illegal for a fireman to rescue a woman from a burning building if she's nude or just in a nightgown. In order for her to be rescued, she must be fully clothed. Of course, the opposite doesn't apply to men. You can save them no matter what they're wearing. Gotta love the South.
Wow.
Oh.
Come on, man. They're all from Texas on that American Mad team.
Stray Dog joined a runner for 77 miles out of a 155-mile ultramarathon. There was no way he could just forget about her. And despite a serious setback, he went to incredible lengths to make sure she'd never have to fend for herself again. Dion Leonard became an ultra runner as a way to process and heal from scars left behind from a very difficult childhood. In the middle of a 155-mile race in the Chinese Gobi Desert, a small stray dog picked him out from the crowd and started running with him. By the time they'd run 25 miles together, Dion named her Gobi and started sharing his food and water with her. He could see that, like him, she had had a difficult early life, but she was resilient in the same way that he had to be. Seeing so much of himself in her, he promised her that he'd give her a better life and bring her home with him to the UK. But due to travel restrictions, Gobi had to stay under someone else's care for a while before she could leave the country. And while Dion was back in the UK preparing for her arrival, he received the devastating phone call that Gobi had gone missing. Determined to keep his promise to her, he flew back to China and launched his own search party, personally handing out hundreds of flyers. Miraculously, after 10 days, a local spotted Gobi and took her in. And when Dion went to their house to confirm that it was her, she immediately ran into his arms. This time, Dion decided to stay in Beijing for 4 months until her quarantine period was done. And then he finally brought her home. Ever since, Dion and Gobi have been two peas in a pod, with a truly unbreakable bond.
I almost cried when she said Gabi went missing. I need this. Thank you. We all need this.
Is a conspiracy that involves the Vatican. This man, who's a monk, Pellegrino Ernetti, he had this skill set restoring old chants, and he was working, heard his father's voice, and he's like, that sounds like my dad. This frequency that was coming in, like interrupting the chant. He heard his father talking about shining shoes. He's like, that is my father. He was a cobbler. It was like they're able to like tap into this whole past life. So that got Pellegrino to start doing research into what he called residual energy. He theorized that light and sound from past events continue to exist as forms of energy that could be detected. Whoa. He went back and there was this old Roman play, only a few fragments remain. He went back and was able to watch the whole play and write down the entire play. Dude. They went to the Pope with it, and the Pope said, you have to get rid of it. He said, this is way too dangerous. Supposedly, they dismantled it, but there's a lot of people theorizing that the Vatican still has it, they still use it, and potentially the CIA is involved in it too.
They would have to be. If that thing's real, the knowledge that they can gain with that.
A couple of days ago, this Korean YouTuber announced he was going to reveal the identities of all 44 perpetrators. As the real names and workplaces of the perpetrators were revealed, some of the perpetrators were fired from their jobs and some businesses temporarily closed. In one video, it was disclosed that a man surnamed Park, a ringleader of the incident, now in his 30s, was working at a popular restaurant in Cheongdo County run by his relative. The restaurant received numerous one-star reviews, which is like a death sentence for restaurant owners, causing significant damage to the business. A restaurant representative expressed frustration. They themselves had nothing to do with the crime. The restaurant has since closed temporarily for expansion and relocation. Since the incident, the main perpetrator, Park, changed his name. Park is currently married and raising a daughter. On his account, he had posted messages expressing his affection for his daughter, saying things like, I will remove all the obstacles in your life and be the most reliable father. Ironic, isn't it? His account has been deleted ever since the reveal. The YouTube channel Narak Archive released information about another alleged perpetrator, Shin. Shin works at a foreign car showroom, owns 3 luxury cars, and enjoys a lavish lifestyle, including golfing on weekends. The showroom's portal site received a flood of one-star reviews, and its Instagram account was bombarded with hateful comments. So on June 4th, the showroom issued an official statement saying they take the matter very seriously and have terminated the employee involved. And according to the YouTuber, the remaining perpetrators are tipping off each other about each other's crimes and identities to prevent their identities from spreading.
My question is, how does this YouTuber know these are the actual people responsible? And why isn't the police arresting them?
8 years old. I have 2 degrees, a bachelor's of science in criminal justice and a master's degree of science in criminal justice. If there's one thing I can advise you to do not go to school. Do not get your bachelor's, do not get your master's, unless you just have the money to do so and you just want to do it, or unless it's in a field that is lucrative to society, that is going to contribute to society, doctor, lawyer, things like that. Do not waste your time, your money, your efforts going to get a degree. Now, as a black woman, does it feel nice to have a master's degree? Yes, it does. It does. It sounds nice. Yeah, she got a master's. But what am I doing? I'm working from home doing customer support. I'm blessed and highly favored. Always, thank you, Jesus. But what I'm saying is, to the plot, for me to go back to school and I'm in hella debt. Because I didn't wake up sooner. My consciousness wasn't woke at the time. So, I went back to school. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to school and I'm gonna make more money afterwards. I'm gonna get a job that's gonna pay me so much money and $20. Amen, Jesus. Amen. Thank you. Because I could be making $0. Thank you. But now I'm in hella debt. They keep calling me, where's my money? I said, I don't know. Go find it. Go find it elsewhere, because I don't got it for you. I really don't got it for you. So I say all this to say, be mindful of what you do. If you're going to go back to school, make sure that it's going to contribute to society. Parents, stop telling your kids to go to school if they don't have a clear vision of what they want to do. Stop it.
Yep.
Halt. Stop.
I know some Americans, Australians, and Brits that live in Bali. What they did is they took boot camps for software engineering, data scientists, DevOps engineering, or cyber security. And it only take them for 6 months and cost around 10K. And now they're working remotely here in Bali, and they get paid between 80 to 200K a year. They live like kings.
They showed us such a bland black and white version of history in school. All copious amounts of dates and mundane details. Most of these great periods of history, these great wars, were nothing more than tiny chapters, tiny little sections. I always remember being excited to learn about those different wars and different periods in school, only to be disappointed of how little details they went into. I guess as we grew up and learned about our true history, seen videos like this, and learned that the history that we were taught was nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon, then we realized why they spent such little time and gave us such little details on these subjects. The less we know, the easier the lies are to accept, and schools are becoming less and less about anything else but accepting the narrative. Not about free thinking, not about free thoughts or ideas, and less that spawns innovative minds like this, all to be good little 9-to-5 factory workers. We're all toiling away at those 40-hour work weeks. Some of us even have to get second or third jobs these days, all for the government to take almost half of our paychecks. And that's the difference between us and the people you see on these videos. They weren't worked to death, taxed to death. They had time to let loose the true innovative minds and ambitions of humanity. People always argue, oh, it's capitalism, or oh, it's communism. But it's much like politics, the right or the left. They're the same wings on the same bird of the system that works to constantly divide us and control us. Question everything, friends. Until next.
The fact they had roller skates 80 years ago shatters my worldview too. Alright folks, I'm going to end our video with this coming clip. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like or dislike so I can make better content. Thank you for staying till the end. There's a free gift for you below if you like. Thank you for watching. Have a prosperous day and God bless.